My name is Fernando Martinez, and today I am interviewing my friend Carlos Martinez, also better known on Instagram as.
Well, I have two Instagrams. One is Cimagraphy, which is Cimagraphy, and that's my photography Instagram. And then my OG Taquito, which is another Instagram for
Okay. Personal use,
Twitch.
personal use. Okay.
Yeah, for
Okay.
Twitch.
Yeah. So again, thanks again for letting me interview you. And I just wanted to know what made you get into photography?
Photography. Well, a lot of people start with photography with other. They see other photographers see, and then you look at the work, and then they take a look at what they can do, what they can achieve. And that's what kind of happened to me. When my parents got divorced, I wanted to just take pictures of everything and just showcase what um, going through divorce was like. Even though it was in 2007, so I was 9 years old. Even though I was a 9-year-old, I just wanted to pretty much show what other people, to other people what going through a divorce is as a 9-year-old. I didn't really get the chance to do that, but I was pretending. Everything was like pretend. And I started with the disposable camera, and I got a chance to reveal one of those roles, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see how that aspect of photography came to life. That you go into the room with special lighting and all the chemical process that has to happen to come and bring that picture to life. So I brought my attention to it. And then I asked for a camera, and I had a Nikon. Shoot, I don't remember the model number, but it was like a entry level. It was probably like maybe $100 if anything. Um, with it was a point and shoot. It was basically just a regular camera. It's really thin, and it wasn't the highest end or anything like that. But it brought to me my attention, and I play around with it a lot. And the pictures were really good, and well, they were decent looking. And I started playing around with it more and more and more, and I realized that if I really take the picture really really close and I focus it, the um
The quality.
the quality improves. By that meaning that it will focus on the subject and it will have a nice blurry background. So I
Yeah.
made it really look. So I play around with a lot of macro photography, and I got my first camera a year after that.
Hmm.
It was a Nikon D3200, and I was shooting it with the regular. I actually have it right here. Well, it's not the exact lens, but it's a 18 to 55 millimeter lens.
Hmm.
It's a entry level lens, and I broke that camera. And I didn't have a camera until I want to say my senior year in high school. I didn't have an actual camera. I kept borrowing and renting.
Yeah. Thing to me. So another question to me is, you started off and you just, you gave me a detail of all the equipment you started off with, but what equipment do you use now, and how does that help you?
Right now, I'm building my for financial intentions. I had to sell most of my equipment, so I hope myself push through college a little bit.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm starting to rebuild it. My mom actually gifted me a really old camera. It's I have it right here. I had it ready because I figured this was gonna come up. It's a Canon Rebel T3. If you really look it up, it's really old,
Hmm.
and it's probably like $150 right now and used, and you're not gonna be able to find a new one.
So on that note, I know a lot of people that think they need to buy like these expensive ass cameras, basically,
Cameras.
right? Like everyone feels like, hey, I need to have like the newest camera to do X, Y, and Z with it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you can do things on your iPhone that that it's just right there. Like you see it, capture it, and it doesn't take a $700 camera with like $200 lenses to capture what you want to capture sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
It
So
makes sense, and I think we both agree on the same thing. I believe that a lot of people will just make up excuses in a way, like,
mhm,
oh, I can't start photography because I don't have a nice camera. I don't have $1,000 to drop on a camera X
mhm.
and Y, but literally your phone can literally do just as fine. And the
because
think
the
what's
software
more
is going to be
important is
there
just
regardless,
starting.
right? Like the editing stuff, like you can pay like a $10 subscription to go on Photoshop or something, and you can, you can make those edits if you wanted to. Like it's not like you needed this camera to take the picture and then it's the highest quality picture you have. It's like, just because you have, like, it
Correct.
depends on the person, it depends on how bad you want to get it. Because what I've been told is whenever you want to do something great, just start. It doesn't matter what it is, just start, because that's how that's how you gain more information and knowledge on the subject that you want to learn and stuff like that.
Yes, I agree with you. Just
Yeah.
start and practice and shoot for fun and play around with the camera. Get familiar with your camera.
Yeah, but that's not to say that we don't all have our favorite cameras and stuff. So, what is, like, what stuff do you like to use? Like, personally, what stuff do you like to use that makes the editing, makes the photography, makes the shots just come out the way you wanted it to? Because you have your own artistic expression, and obviously, some equipment just helps out a little bit more than others.
Well, a lot of people start with Flash and the
Mhm.
photography, Flash. A lot of people ask me why, and I just like that natural feeling with natural light. A lot of people get discouraged with um, shooting at noon,
Mhm.
where the sun is the hardest.
Mhm.
And I like to shoot at noon, but I like to shoot in the shade because the shade provides like a neutral light and it bounces off the floor. And that's what I like to do. But equipment, it will be the 82 millimeter 1.2 um, lens from Canon. It's pretty pricey. I don't shoot it on it. I have a 50 millimeter 1.8, uh, and it's the Nifty 50. That's how they call it, the Plastic Fantastic. Um, but that lens, the 82 millimeter, I like to rent it out when I have to do like special photo shoots for
Mhm.
someone. Like if I know that that picture is gonna end up somewhere else, or not just for the Instagram.
Yeah.
But the 82 millimeter 1.2 is my go-to favorite lens. It's a little bit pricier. I don't own it. I just like to rent it out. It's that's what, or borrow from other friends.
Mhm.
But a lot of people don't know that they have that option, and I would do the research to pretty much um, look for places that do that, offer renting cameras and all that good stuff. It's really useful.
No, no, for sure. You're right. You're right on that. Sometimes people don't understand that, just because you don't have, complete access to a device doesn't mean you can't get it. There's if you're going to school for whatever reason, I think in the library at Texas State where I go to, they offer people, to rent out cameras without, actually paying for them.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. At
So,
UTSA, they also do that too.
yeah, so like just because you don't have money to buy one doesn't mean you can't have access to a camera. Last question I wanted to ask you about was so what would you tell yourself when you were maybe starting out? What would you like to know, like, as a photographer? What would you have liked to know back then that you know now?
Trust people a little bit less and implement contracts and agree to terms and conditions and stuff like that. Make it more, not necessarily legal, um, but make it more official. Even if you don't want to do it for professional, like implement like just a not exactly like a contract bound by a notary,
But make sure
but
your IP and your stuff like that is protected, right? Like your content that you are providing is protected.
yes, in a sense, and also you, especially when you're starting up, you deal with a lot of issues with people requesting a photo shoot and book you, and then, for example, for me, it happened a lot um, before I implemented the contracts and all that good stuff, and deposits, down deposits before photo shoots. People would flake on me; they will just cancel last minute, and I'm over here with all this rental equipment, and I'm like, well. Like I'm not even gonna make profit out of this. I lost money because I pay for all this rental equipment,
Yeah,
and
no, no, you know what? I understand that point too. Yeah, that's really smart, and thank you for that, because a lot of people don't understand that. even though it's a hobby to some, it's still a financial burden. Just because, hey, I wasted gas to come over here, I wasted my time to come over here, and I dedicated a set amount of time for this, and now, I lost time and I lost money for it. Yeah, so that's really good advice to to people that want to do this as a profession or want to do this as a side job even. That they should always be financially responsible with their, with what their time is gonna be.
With the
What the time is.
decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the decisions mostly, and also don't sell yourself short. I know it's really tempting to sell yourself short, but I feel like as a photographer, you're the best to know what your value is, and a lot of people would like to take advantage of people who sell themselves short, and uh, a lot of people, especially clients, tend to really compare the pricing about other photographers' work and stuff like that. Like, if I'm charging X amount of money, they're probably gonna be like, "Oh, well, this guy charges me less. Well, why don't you just drop the price?" And it's just you being stubborn. Don't be afraid to say no. Like, no, I'm not gonna drop the price. No, this is how much I charge, and that's point blank. Period. Just don't be afraid and play around with it,
Yeah,
and
no.
there's no
Um,
mistakes.
yeah, no, I get it and I understand. And it's just at the end of the day, it's a business. If that person charges less for whatever X amount of dollars, why not go to that person? This is my business and this is what I'm offering. You like it or not, you know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
I understand. So I think this is going to be it for the question for the interview. If you'd like to shout out your Instagram and all your socials that you put your workout on.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, my Instagram is Simography, and again, that's Cimagraphy,
Hmm.
Simography, and I also stream on Twitch, and that's OG Taquito, and that's OG_TAQUITO,
Hmm.
and I edit the pictures on stream sometimes. People like to see that aspect of editing with the photographers and like to show it there, and it's live. So if you catch me live and you have questions about photography, I'm an open book.